Hey everyone, welcome to our 11th podcast, and I have an extremely special friend of mine, special guest to come and visit us in North Carolina. I have David Meyer. Thank you so much, brother, for coming and seeing us. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So you're saying number 11? Is that what you?
It is. This is our 11th podcast. Yeah.
So straight up, I had no clue, and in my pocket is number 11.
That's great, dude. Let me see that,
dude.
Let me see that.
There you go.
Give me that fucking thing.
Yep. That number
God, these
11.
came out so sexy. That is so hot.
They are great.
Yeah, we definitely got to do another run of these for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it so much.
Yeah,
cool, man.
great.
Well, that's a nice omen for once.
That's hilarious. It's my lucky number.
So, dude, man, tell me. I know you have the club.
Yeah. The Ancient City Continental. Yeah.
Yes. Tell me about that. How did you get that started?
So basically, it came. I had an idea, which was a haven for knife collectors, for watch collectors, people who trade gold, silver, etc., where they could do their trades without having to spend so much money like on eBay or having to worry about doing trades on Facebook and, getting banned for listing the knife or something. Knives are just tools and not anything evil or anything, but yet some social media platforms don't allow you to sell or talk about that kind of stuff.
I understand.
Yeah. So I wanted to make a place where people could do those trades for free and build up a rapport with each other, have points that they could accrue for each transaction they can do, and there's no charge for it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a really unique and altruistic idea. My friend John Namakos, who's a partner.
I love John. My God. You couldn't have picked any better of a guy to do anything with, to be honest with you. So John, if you're out there, we love you. And John's been a great supporter of our brand, especially the Marfione Customs and everything else for years. So John is as good as it gets, man.
He's a ride or die guy. He's
absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely. That's cool.
So we have a Facebook group that complements it right now. We're building a population there that will wind up being the beta test for the website.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's a fantastic group. There's no dramas in there. It's just, we don't really allow for that kind of stuff. It's just makers, dealers, and collectors just sharing information, trading with each other, that kind of thing. And information is so important in our hobby.
I think that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, they often say even a little bit of drama is not bad, but there's a limit to this amount of shenanigans I think that any, place should take. I think that's why I don't participate on a lot of these type of forums. It's not that I don't, again, you got to make time to do it, but, I can't be buying into fucking people's delusions half the time. I have my own issues and everything else I got to deal with, let alone to have to deal with everybody else's bullshit. So, what I found is as I've gotten a little older, just my bullshit filter is just really small.
Sure.
So, but I appreciate, it takes a lot of curating from what I understand to do these types of forums, to try to tap in when you need to and everything else to keep everybody happy. But I think I like the concept of what you're doing because everything you mentioned is everything I like, between knives and gold, little coins and some other little swag things that just make me happy. I think that's kind of a neat outlet. So, I'll be definitely paying it a little bit more attention to that. And I'm glad to be part of the club if I can in any way.
Oh, well, you're 100% part. I mean, you're a member, you're a part of the club. And it's meant to be inclusive. It's not meant to be exclusive,
Right.
Basically, if you're a collector and you're looking to share information with other people or trade with other people, or just make friends, there's a place for you there.
That's cool. That's cool.
And, we have a team of moderators. They're great people that spend time out of their day just, checking the page, making sure that the members are coming in aren't fake accounts or, checking to make sure people aren't trying to scam. Robots.
Yes.
A lot of those robots and say, "Hey, you've won $1,000." Kind of stuff.
Do you want to buy Bitcoin? No, just kidding. No, what is the other one, man? Wait a minute. You got Bitcoins. You got what else?
You got Dogecoin to the moon, which didn't quite go to the moon.
Jesus Christ Almighty! Already,
these are things you can't touch.
You would freaking figure we would come up with some kind of Shazam fucking pyramid scam coin. Like that, right? There we go.
Knife coin.
Knife coin. Why not? Right?
It's going. It's
going big places.
And then when people want to catch a falling knife, they're literally trying to catch a falling knife.
Hey, what do you know?
All those are rug pulls.
Yeah.
A lot of that crypto that I see is
sure.
Yeah, it needs severe.
At the end of the day, like you, I know a vast amount of people out in the industry, and I know some people that made a little bit of money on the fake coins and shit. But I know some people that have really lost their ass too. Yeah. So it's like anything else, and a lot of people are like, I'm not sure about you, but for me, I continue to invest in Microtech. It's all I have. I mean, contrary to what popular, belief that people think, I didn't just wake up one day and I was making knives and making money and head over heels. This is all we have. I have some sub companies within, or at least under the umbrella of Microtech Knives Inc., but this is what we have. So that's my thing, is to continue to invest in, the infrastructure of Microtech, as you've seen. We got new facilities coming up, new equipment, continue to invest in our employees, which you could see, that constant ability for them to train and move forward. But no, even, a lot of people even ask, how did you weather the COVID? And it's like, well, for us, for materials and stuff like that, when we seen this stuff kind of coming on a little bit strong, we took every residual dollar that we had extra and we invested into materials for the future. So, I mean, we placed purchase orders all the way out to 2024, so it secured a lot of contracts. A lot of the companies looked at us and said, hey, man, we love the business. This is great. But we had a strategy behind it, and I'm glad that we did, So it's like anything else. I mean, you live in Florida. I mean, you see a hurricane coming, you stock up on a few things here and there.
Absolutely.
Nobody says you have to, be that ultimate prepper. But I think warding off any storm, whether it be from a financial standpoint, freaking COVID,
right?
Anything, it could be anything at that point. But no, I mean, that's what I invest in, and I know a lot of our dealers and dealer base and people that buy our knives do the same thing. They're investing, they're taking an investment initiative when they buy our products. They enjoy them. Same with me. I mean, I love them, love to use them, and they bring me a bit of happiness. But I know that, at least our key accounts continue to reinvest into what we're doing. So, I don't know. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Well, your knives definitely provide an experience. They're not just tools or things or, things to covet. Like, they're an experience, whether you go to a show and you buy one there, or you get one from a local dealer that you trust and you fall in love with a knife and you start playing with it. And,
sure.
Next thing you know, it's like you're obsessed over this thing. It's something that you truly enjoy. It's the way it opens, the way it closes,
sure.
All of that. And, so you're providing people an experience, really.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I know that there's a bazillion options in that sorts of categories. So no, we appreciate you and we appreciate the club and everybody within the club that buy our stuff. So I'm just saying that for the record. Thanks. Guys like John, yeah. You could just go down the line, right. Them right. all, but sure. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the cost of goods thing. I mean, that's got to be a huge thing. So you're set to 2024, yeah. But I'm sure you have other cost of goods that are just fluctuating lately, like most businesses, right? Other materials yeah. And it's got to be a lot to handle. I mean,
yeah, it is. I mean, I'm thinking, just kind of what you saw today, to say, hey, if you were to say, I was to say, hey, David, what could we expect for the year coming through? We have a lot of really exciting things that we're going to be sinking our teeth into. Microtech's going in a couple little different directions, nothing too radical, nothing too crazy. Our biggest thing is just becoming a lot more closer to our customers at this point, kind of understanding a little bit better what they're looking for. Even doing some of the, the last shows, I went to Italy and everything else, which I had a marvelous time. But it gives us an opportunity to talk to some of the boutique stores, talk to some of the dealers that network around that area, just to kind of hear their thoughts. You look at the euro, against the dollar, you look at all these different things. And, I still think people are spending money. Mm-hmm. But I think that adage, like you see sometimes before, it's like, fuck it, I'll take them all. They're not taking all of them at this point. They're being very selective of what they purchase. So I want to just make sure that when we do get up the bat, we're giving the people what they're looking for. And it trust me, it sucks because, we don't have that cookie cutter mentality at Microtech. We have the abilities to do these things for us being in tune with our manufacturing facilities and employees, but also equally being in touch with our customer base globally. Everybody's looking for that next fucking, kick-ass thing to make or do or whatever else. But I'm seeing some trends in our industry. I'm seeing some trends in the just the economy in general. I'm not saying it's tanking or nothing like that. But things sway. I mean, you got to remember, what a lot of people don't remember about Microtech is we've been around not as long as some of the other bigger companies, but, we're big enough now. And we've also been around long enough to see, for the last 30 years, think of how many different administrations we've been through, even though this one's a real fucking, calamity for the entire world. But, we've been through a bunch of different ones, different economies, different things have happened in the past 30 years, and we've been able to, maneuver just a little bit. So right now we're growing, we're expanding, but we're doing it at a very, very controlled rate. It takes risk. You want to stand in one spot, you'll never move. You want to get to point A to point B, you got to hustle. And
right.
Sometimes it's, that distance, that closest distance between 2 points is not always the straightest line in business. You got to maneuver through things.
Sure.
Either go through it, demo through it, or jump around it or get through it. So one way or another, you gotta get to point A to point B for our growth. But no, do definitely expect some very, very interesting angles for our company for this year coming through, especially from the perspective of the, network that we have globally,
Sure.
which will be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so the new Facebook group.
Yes.
The Microtech Knives official Facebook group that you started here.
Absolutely.
Is a great way for you because you're showing them pieces as you're making them and pieces from your collection and
that's the thing that I hope. I'm hoping maybe we can get like some of our staff at Microtech to help participate on that. I know it's relatively new, but if they can help, because I do want to share. I want to share what we're doing. I want to share, 'cause for me, that's exciting stuff. I mean, what gets me to work at the end of the day? I mean, it certainly isn't to go into the board meetings. It's not to go into, reading through fucking financials and everything else, although it's exciting to see where we're at. Still the meat and potatoes of what I do is still, rolling up my sleeves, grinding blades, sharpening, whatever it's going to take, designing new models and everything else, the challenge of the manufacturing. So we'd like to share some of that because I think that that's part of that element that people want to see. And plus, as the next generations and the next generations of knife users and collectors, I don't want anybody to ever get that preconceived notion that you shovel shit or ore inside the freaking side of the machine and out come these finished knives on the fucking Wonka, the Wonka Vader or whatever, or no, the everlasting gobstop machine.
Yes.
It doesn't work that way. A lot of elbow greases you've seen. We're 180 plus full-time people and we're growing. So for any companies that are doing this kind of work, I commend them. Anybody making anything stateside here, I don't care what it is, if they're manufacturing goods, that's what we need. It seems like almost in today's day and age, it's a dying thing for a lot of industries, and because it's easier always just to shop it out. People crucified me for making a couple pieces. Yeah, I get it. I call it a collaboration. Yeah, so what? I had Reich participate to give us a couple pieces that a lot of those new collectors could enjoy and everything else. I like working with those guys. They're not bad dudes, and for as long as they continue to do a good job, we'll make a couple pieces over there.
I think that's what a lot of people don't understand about overseas manufacturing. Their job is to make it to your spec, and a good manufacturer knows, like you guys. All right, we'll take them, and if they're made to that spec, they're good to go, and that's made to a standard that you like, and I've fabricated stuff overseas before, a line of diabetic insoles, for example.
Sure. And
I gave them, if I made them here, people couldn't afford them, bottom line.
Right.
And as long as they were made to the spec that I had requested and they passed all the heat tests and everything, wonderful.
I get it. I mean, I think there's good opportunities. I get it, man. I've always been very hard strong on made in the USA, but it's like anything else anymore. I challenge anybody to go shopping for your clothes, go shopping for just about anything else. It makes it extremely difficult to say, hey, is it made in the USA? And then if it is, how does it compare quality wise to what's available in the marketplace? So, I believe that as a country we could do better, and I believe that there should hopefully be an awakening and that side of the fence as far as manufacturing is concerned. I'll always support it and I'll always advocate it. And especially for our brands, we have expansions here, we have expansions,
right?
In PA, we have expansion coming up in Texas, and we're targeting also a manufacturing facility in Florida. So it's not like we're not creating, the stigma of us making it here in the United States. We are. Right. Our thing is just like anybody else, and I challenge anybody to prove me wrong. We've had to create a very unique work style to be able to recruit people. Mm-hmm. Some people could accuse me of being difficult to work for. I've often challenged a lot of my people to say, hey, look, if you could find a better gig other than what I'm offering, then show me, I'll go with you. I have expectations, it's like, I expect you to show up on time, I expect you to do your job, expect you to tote, to the foundations and the rules that we have in the confines of our company. But other than that, I think I'd say at least 98% of the workforce that I have really want to be there. Every now and then we run into a couple bad eggs or bad apples, but I'd say everybody that I've encountered thus far that I'm able to interact with wants to be there. And, we got a very, very good management team, probably the best we've ever had. There's some areas that we're constantly trying to team build, but we're getting it. And that's the whole idea of putting other facilities in other metropolitan areas, is we could draw from those areas. I think the idea of me, which I always hoped that I would have, is that, that fucking masterpiece of a facility where everything is just done underneath one roof. I don't think that's going to happen. I think in every demographic area that we're at, we get the best of a good workforce. We pull from these areas. Like here in the Carolinas, I get some great administrative people. I get, I get a totally different climate of workforce. Mm-hmm. But I pull from a lot of professional jobs because it's not hard to recruit to have people come live here.
Right.
Up in Bradford, it's a little bit more difficult because, the sun doesn't shine for 9 months out of the fucking year, and it's cold. Mm-hmm. And, but, I go up to that facility and I get the workforce I have there, which is, some of the top ones that I have are mostly women. And I'll tell you what, I walk in that factory, they don't even look at me, man. I walk past and they're just doing their thing. And it's like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
I introduce myself. Yeah. Hi, what do you do? It's like, I run these are my machines. I run these 6 machines right here. It's like, hey, give me 20 more of her and I'll take over a freaking country, mm-hmm. Cause that's the kind of work ethic that we get, in these different areas, so
sure.
I think that's how Microtech's going to take, have the ability to continue to take our space, can continue to dominate. I know where I want to be in 10 years. It's going to take some creativity. It's going to take some grit. Mm-hmm. And it's going to definitely take a collaboration amongst our facilities to be able to get this done. I can assure you it won't be because I'm importing goods from overseas.
No. You're making it all here. I've seen all your operations. No. It is incredible.
No. We still got the grit and we have the muscle to get it done.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just don't realize really what goes into making a knife, from start to finish.
I think most people don't have a fucking clue what it takes to make anything. Yeah. You got some people that can't even make their fucking beds in the morning, which surprises me. But
that's very true.
It is what it is. But you know what? Getting back to it, tell me a little bit about your background.
I have a background in orthotics and prosthetics.
Interesting.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that. I started off doing little odds and ends repairs and apprenticing under somebody, mm-hmm. Taking apart shoes or orthotics and relining them, or fixing a device that was broken, that kind of thing.
Neat.
And just basic stuff too, like cleaning the shop floor and, putting away inventory, that kind of thing. And through that time, I was reading the books and I was obsessed with it. And eventually I wound up going to school for it, taking the exams, passing the board exams and the state exams to get licensure and all that. Mm. And it was a wonderful thing, designing things that help people walk again, or designing something that relieves pain. It feels good, and you're making it with your hands, and it's made here in the U.S. It can't be made anywhere because it's got to be custom done. Custom grinds into the plastic or the metal, etc. And you can be creative too. It doesn't have to be, when someone gets a prosthetic leg, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, or someone gets a brace, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. You can put cool designs on it. And
that's cool. I couldn't imagine. I mean, because it's already, you have that, effect is like if I had to lose a limb, I'm already kind of be inside my head a little bit to begin with anyway. So that's kind of a beautiful thing if you could work with somebody to make that right for them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I also enjoyed designing stuff like I was talking about before, diabetic insoles, going through the whole process of prototyping and figuring out what's going to work, and then getting it approved by Medicare so that I could go on patients' feet. That kind of stuff is incredible.
Yeah, that is kind of
bringing a product to market,
That's neat. Mm-hmm. So outside of all the work that you do and stuff like that, is there, what do you do for fun?
For fun? Well, I love to fish. I absolutely love fishing.
I do too. I like the deep sea fish. So.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like flats fishing. I like fishing from the shore. I mean, when I was very young, and I had like very little money. I'd be living in an apartment with a bunch of guys, and just barely getting by. And I would go after work. Instead of going home, I go straight to the pier to catch sunset and try to catch Spanish mackerel off Deerfield Pier.
Nice.
And come home with a nice fresh meal, and just took a little bit of effort, but saved a lot of money and ate like kings, know. And that's how I started getting into fishing. So I find a lot of therapy in that nowadays, even though I've got a Gucci rod and a reel carved out of aluminum.
Hey, it's Gucci.
It's the whole 9 yards. And
I didn't know
fun.
Gucci made freaking fishing equipment. Really? Like Gucci?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was a Gucci.
No. G Loomis. A G Loomis. I have this beautiful G Loomis rod. Okay. And a nice Van style reel.
Yeah, it'd be like if they got that, I want a Louvre-Don freaking fishing pole. They would do it too.
They would do it.
They would do it.
I'd rock one. You can get a custom rod made like that. Why not? They wrap it any way you want if you pay them.
Absolutely right. Exactly.
But now instead of keeping the fish, I throw them back.
Yeah.
But still therapeutic.
I gotcha.
I like to play poker. I love chess.
You told me about this. You like to play chess. My son Tony, that's who you need to maybe strike a game with next time.
All right, it's on.
He's a fucking mathematician. I don't know how he does it anyway. Him and Adam are really good at it.
Nice.
And all the kids are. All the kids. I've played Adam, and I lose every time. But Tony was the one that taught his siblings how to do the chess.
Oh, that's good. We're
him and Tony, just like Tony. It's like, Tony, what are you doing? We go to kids. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's counting cards.
Okay, so at the next night show that High Techs is at, Mike Miller and I like to play chess all the time. We're going to have to grab TJ.
Grab
100%.
him. Yeah, that would be baller. No, that would be really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's going down.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, what are you drinking tonight?
So right now I'm having this tequila drink that you made.
Nice. Cheers, brother.
Cheers. It's like cheers.
So I think we got some I don't know, some Florida orange in there, freshly squeezed, by the way. And we're looking at a Contigo. It's a mezcal. It's actually really good. It's smoky, and
I've been drinking this all night.
Yeah, it's been really, really good, even since yesterday. But I think a little agave, slight touch of agave, and the fresh orange. It's great. Actually extremely pleasant. Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
It kind of almost reminds me a little bit of just a hint like of an old fashioned.
Yeah,
just that with that smoky taste. Yeah. But as you can see, we just about cleared that bottle, so that's going to be fun. We got to clear it tonight.
It's not going to exist.
No,
we're
cleaning that one. We're cleaning that one.
100%.
That's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. So outside of that, I thought you said you were going to be doing a show.
I am.
Tell me about that, because I'm excited for that.
So we're planning to do a show in Daytona, and it's going to be well advertised to Daytona, Jacksonville,
sure,
and West Palm Beach area. Try to draw that crowd. Orlando too, and it's going to be a knife show that's for makers such as yourself.
Yeah.
And some smaller makers as well. A lot of Florida makers are going to be there.
That'd be dope.
We'll have knife purveyors.
You guys got some great ones too down in Florida.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. TJ being one of them.
TJ being one of them, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got Edison Barajas.
Yes.
Great guy. And I love his knives. His Waka and the Ryu, awesome.
Just not Reese Weiland, please. I can't handle it. Nothing against Reese, though. Love you, babe. Be good.
You got Merkin's in Florida.
Yeah.
Yep. You got a lot of good guys. You got Bastinelli, of course.
I know, my boy. I can't wait to see him. He'll be here for Christmas. I'm excited.
He's great. Yeah, he's working on a cool new knife that I really like. I forget the name of it, but it's got this like cool S design. Fixed blade.
His stuff is all designed to kill people, man.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no sporting purpose in anything from Bastinelli knives, which I love about it.
Right.
And he knows how to do it. Oh.
Yeah, he makes it look great.
As I knock myself in the mouth with my own fucking mic.
Right.
But no, he's very intuitive and just an amazing designer and just everything else, you know. So, you know, I only work with a few different makers. I work with Bastien, of course, my son Sean Marfione, and my bro Sebastian Brengi from Borka Blades.
He's
you know,
awesome.
I can't wait to do his podcast. So we're hoping to sneak that shit in before he goes back to Texas.
Very nice.
But we might have to sit here and, you know, for a few minutes. You can't cover the mileage that we've been.
Oh no.
In one podcast. You probably couldn't do it in a fucking 100 podcasts.
No,
I don't know. Is there did they have like FCC rules or something for podcasts? Because I don't know if we could even play Sebastian's
No, we're good.
podcast. You'd have to like rate that shit.
I'm pretty sure we're good. As long as we're not on air or something.
No, I know. Yeah. I'm just fucking around. I'm just kidding.
But like, no, Sebastian's awesome.
He really is.
Are great. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, so he's got his little baby daughter is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Little baby Borka.
Yeah.
Looks just like the mom. Looks just like Carolina. Yeah.
They're
absolutely darling. I love it. Seeing my bro, you know, this badass Serbian freaking killer, you know, and he's got his baby and he's just.
Well, that's just it. It's good to see people do well.
Yeah.
You know, that's the
No,
thing.
that's big time. That's it. Right. You know, that's the next phase of his life. And I'm so excited. And I hope they have more, but I can't wait to see the kid, you know, so I'm super excited.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have to get our asses in gear because I think I can't remember what show we got coming up.
Yeah,
I think, we got SHOT Show. Right? Oh, yeah, my absolutely unfavorite show to do, but, you know, we support the industry and shake hands, kiss baby, and everybody comes home and they got to get fucking penicillin for a month.
I know.
Because they all got the SHOT Show crud or worse. But we've got a couple people, I think it was maybe last year, even before the COVID, got hospitalized from whatever they caught.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think this one guy, everything. I won't mention his name, but it rhymes with, you know. I don't know. I think he was kind of doing a little something nefarious anyway, like going around licking like doorknobs and handles and shit and stuff that to get sick. But, you know, what are you going to do? Nobody's perfect, right?
This guy, low-key drama. Turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? You got to have a little bit of fun or else nobody's going to watch these freaking podcasts. No, we're just going to talk about metals today. We're going to talk about metals and wood and grinding.
That's funny because after we left the factory, I showed Tony one of my knives that I use. I'm like, hey, look at the tip. And he's like, I see it.
I see it, man.
Just at the freaking factory.
I know. It's just like, he's like, yeah, I could have sharpened your freaking knife. You didn't even say anything. It's got a big old dent in the freaking tip. Jeez. Louise.
It was a mistake, an oversight. It was funny.
You know what? There's nothing we can't fix on that particular model.
Right.
You know, as with any other one.
I'll just leave it with you as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a guy.
Yeah. You do know a guy that knows a guy. So cool, dude. What I was going to mention too is I had a question. Where have you traveled?
Well, I've been to most of the United States. I have not been to Alaska.
Right. Okay.
I have not been to Montana or Idaho. That whole section I haven't been in.
Okay.
I'd love to go there.
You'd love it, especially if you like to fish. I'll tell you a place that I loved that my ex-wife years ago, we went twice. It was Jackson Hole, Wyoming. If you can make it out to Wyoming and go fishing out there or fly fishing or whatever, or just go run the rivers and shit like that, you'd be amazed.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'd like to do.
Yeah.
For sure. I love the wilderness. You know, I like being out there open places. You know, one of my favorite places on earth is the Keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the Florida Keys a lot. I like fishing both sides of the Gulf and the Atlantic. You know,
sure.
20 minutes, you're on the other side. So that's a place I love. I've been through Europe. My favorite place, of course, is Amsterdam.
Every time I used to go through, anytime we would go prior to the COVID, I used it as a reference because I don't know if they've lowered their, vax card vaccination bullshit. I remember when I took my daughter to Italy, we had to go to, because we were going to Amsterdam for 2 days. We get to the thing and they're like, you don't have your VAC cards. We had to freaking stand down, rebook all our trips and everything else. But before, we would always go to Amsterdam 2-3 days, go to France,
Yeah.
come back through, go to Amsterdam, couple 2-3 days, have some coffee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Have some nice beverages,
Good times.
good times and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was always a really great trip to do it. And then if we used to do a show in Finland. I don't think they do it anymore, but we would also go, Amsterdam to Finland, back to Amsterdam, back to the United States.
Yep.
What a beautiful
I like taking
area.
a ferry from the UK to Amsterdam.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah. Mhm. It comes into Rotterdam, and then you take a train up.
Nice.
A lot of fun, and the ferry's cool. You have a nice
The
dinner,
ferries
and,
are dope for
there's
sure. I've never
some
been.
arcades in there.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is trains. I love riding the trains in Europe, especially, the high-speed trains.
Sure.
Just like, either in Japan. I can't wait to get back to Japan. I'm going again in the spring, and then going back for the show, the Seki show, in 2023 in October, if they have me back. So we'll see, but I can't wait to get back to Japan.
Nice. Good.
If you have never been, you need to go.
Yeah.
You'd fall in love with it.
I have to do a lot of Asia.
Yeah.
I know Robert was just in Taiwan.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
he
Yeah.
told
The
me he had
guys
an
just
incredible
finished
time.
up the Knife and Life show. They said it was a success. So, I didn't get a chance. I was just coming back from Italy, so it would have been tough for me to prep for a day and then try to leave to go out on another plane. It'd have been almost better for me to just go from Italy to freaking.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of travel. It's a lot of travel. But I miss going over there. I haven't seen, Johnny and the crew and everybody in years. But maybe I'll make it next year. Who knows? Juggle my travel plans just a little bit. But
Sure.
yeah. So anyway, hey man, what I was going to mention to you is, I know you love the knives and stuff like that.
Of course.
Wayne and I got together. We made you a little something. It's nothing crazy.
Oh no.
But yeah, man, it's for you, man.
What?
Just a little something. Check it out. It's kind of dope.
Tony. Whoa. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
It's badass.
It is kind of cool,
Oh wow, tack, laser engraved.
Yeah.
Right on there. I don't know if you guys can see this. This thing is. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Wow, these are incredible.
Yeah. We
Oh.
commemorated it for your father.
Wow.
So again, my condolences, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
It says
brother.
Peter Mayer right on here. I just lost my father,
And we're sorry for that
Dude.
loss.
thank you. Well, your hospitality up here has just been incredible. Just you're a great host. I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank Wayne. I mean, wow.
He
so
worked with that.
talented.
Isn't that cool? It just,
incredible
we figured
what
you
he
would
can
like
do.
it. And when I first seen it, I opened the box. He's like, wait a minute. He goes, David likes flamboyant stuff. It's like, I know. I was just checking it out.
This is awesome. Oh, wow. Thank you.
Just a fun piece.
It's got
thank
the
you.
Marfione dagger on it.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, brother.
It's a cool, one-of-a-kind piece for you to keep in your collection.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I will.
Yeah.
I will cherish it.
Cool.
Badass.
Normally, I got to stab you in the hand and get a coin, but
We could do
you
that
know what?
too.
You bleed enough.
That's fine. No, I don't mind. I'm not. You can stab. We'll do it. We'll do the whole thing. But wow, I'm speechless.
Enjoy it, man.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are like family, really. It's incredible.
It's been fun. I've always had a good time with you at the shows.
For sure.
You've always treated me, great, with respect and our crew and everything else. You've always been great.
Thank you.
And even if I'm having a tough day, you come over and it's like, hey, Tone, I got something for you. It's something cool, and it always puts a smile on my face. So anything that you've ever gifted me like that, man, it's meant the world to me, because it was always at like the best time for me.
Oh, that's awesome, bro. Thank you, man.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And this is the best time for me. Thanks.
Yeah.
Incredible. I don't even want to put this away. I'm just going to hold it.
You know what? Enjoy it.
I'm
Enjoy
just
it.
going to hold this like.
Typically, like I normally do, we kind of always introduce like a firearm out of my collection. I figure since, you are from Jewish descent, I think.
It is true.
It is true.
I am a pizza bagel.
I love that.
A pizza bagel.
In your honor.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we are going to show the crew. This is a pre-86 dealer sample IMI Uzi, the famous Uzi submachine gun. There we go.
All right, hang on a second here. Wow.
That's Jesus's machine gun,
It sure is.
the Messiah. Don't you forget the Messiah.
This thing is the freaking score settler right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know you got some experience with guns, but next time you come up, man, we'll plan a range day,
I don't have
and
any
we'll
experience with something as badass as this.
Oh,
This thing's insane. I'd love to get some range time on this.
it's a cool piece. It's kind of iconic because that technology has been around for ancients, but still a neat piece. Piece, and that one, of course, is made in Israel.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Represent, baby.
that's right.
Hebrew hammer.
The Hebrew hammer.
Hebrew
That's it,
fucking hammer,
man.
You have any what is it, Tavors? Is that what they're called?
I do have some of the Tavors.
What do you think about those things?
Neat engineered rifle. I mean, bullpups are here to stay. Everybody knows that I love them, but anything that's come out of IMI has always been pretty sturdy.
Nice.
Especially some of their.
What got you into collecting guns? Because I noticed your collection was so vast.
Yeah. I mean, the gun thing was a passion of mine before I even started getting into knives, but it kind of went hand in hand. I mean, the infatuation with knives and guns ever since at a very, very young age. I never thought I'd be making knives, but I'd always know I'd be probably doing something with firearms.
Cool.
But it's been a lifelong study, and I've been through multiple collections over the years, in and out of, some really great pieces, and learned a lot from a lot of, like I said, a lot of great purveyors and stuff. But I'd say that, the caliber of the collection that I have today is probably the best representation of my personality. I've had collections much bigger, but it was usually that, that you get into that sickness, it's like, you know what? I'll take them all. Hey, what do you want? It wasn't a matter of buying guns. It was a matter of buying gun collections.
Sure.
So I ended up with a lot of multiples of things I didn't need. This was a little bit, I think this last round
But you enjoy that hunt.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
That's what it is.
Yeah, the thrill of the kill
hunt.
is always.
Now, here's a question for you. Those in there, do you shoot them all?
No.
So there are safe queens.
Yeah, there's some safe queens in there for sure.
What's a good example of this gun?
I mean, you get, I have an M16A2.
Okay.
That came out of I think it was, I think the guy, I can't remember quite offhand off the top of my head, but it's set up as an M4 and it's atomically correct, and it came out of the VP's collection at Colt. Something like that, brand new in the box. I have other M16s. I have a million other guns that I could shoot in that same, caliber range and everything else. I don't need to shoot that one. It's collectible.
Right.
I have some of the HKs that came out of the gray room at HK, apparently, from what I was told. So those pieces are in pristine conditions. But I have post samples that I shoot that are the same variations.
Right.
Yeah, there are some of them. Like the Susie here, I would have no problem running some rounds through it and just cleaning it.
So what are you hunting now? What gun? Because you better be like me. I'm always thinking about the next time. As soon as I have a knife coming to me, I'm looking for another one.
It's like anything else. I mean, there's a couple pieces that I'm missing in my collection that I'd like to try to reanimate. And probably on the HK side of things, as these guys start dumping their licenses, it's a little bit easier to grab some things as they go. But some of it's like opportunity. It's like I told you before, sometimes these really neat pieces come into my possession when I'm not even looking for them. They just smack me in the side of the head. Like that Tommy gun as you walked in the front door. I mean, I bought that at Collector's Firearms in Houston. I wasn't looking for that gun. I was looking at antique freaking Japanese plates, ceramics. And this guy, went walking by with that case, and my fucking machine gun ears went off, like Bugs Bunny, boop, 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 and picked up this guy walking across the room with a Tommy gun in his thing. And he sold it off right there. And I had the guy that I was with was like, dude, you need to go see what you want for that gun. And he goes, don't walk over there, you'll spoil the deal. It's like, I won't. I want a first shot at it if the guy's going to sell it.
Right.
And sure enough, I got into it at a smoking price,
Nice.
So it was nice. And it was nice to have an addition to put another, Thompson submachine gun back in the collection, because I've had a few. It's not like a Colt or nothing like that, but it's good enough. Yeah. It's fully transferable.
Oh, you love Japanese swords too.
I do. Yeah. I've been into that for just as long, and that's one of those kind of love-hate relationships, collecting Nihanto, because it's like knowledge is power. The more you study, the more you could read. The more that you study, the more you could read, the less chances you are of getting ripped off. So, there's certain ones, like I don't collect, if the swords don't call to me, I don't care. I don't care if they're, undervalued or whatever else. If they don't speak to me, then I'm not interested. I don't care whatever intrinsic value they have or whatever. But if the sword speaks to me, and I don't mean that in a weird way. I just mean that if I like it, it's like when you pick up a custom knife, some of them, you love them. Right. Some of them you're like, I don't care if that's worth, you know, whatever you think it is in the secondary market. If I don't like it, or if I don't like the maker, you're done. You know, that makes it even, you know, this whole thing. So I have a few pieces in my collection that I've been drawn to over the years, and I like certain schools, and I love certain makers.